Kwanza mimi sikuwa najua wa Meru wana exist. So when I went to study in Meru, niko like, kai, nyinyi watu mko for real. So they're not just in storybooks and in history or social studies. And I think kujiweka kando ninafanya we suffer alone. Together we can do so much. Tukijiweka tu kwa tuseme si ni wa Narok, hatuwataki, si tumejitenga si ni wa Narok. No, we are not going to be going far. My name is Tamary Resiato. I'm 19 years old, currently a student of law at the University of Nairobi. I grew up in Kilgoris, and Northside, to be specific, in Popong village, tukitaka kwa specific kabisa. And I have had an average life like any other kid. I've not had challenges with education, so I can say I've studied through school, and my parents were able to pay the school fees. I've gone to different schools, many schools, because my dad had the aim of exposing me to different cultures, because he really wanted us to see the world in a different vision and in a different perspective, because he thought that if we just grow up in one place, our village, then we'll grow up with the mind of just the village. So alikuwa anataka tuone what other kids are doing and what does other communities look like. Yes, a lot. Actually a lot. Kuna places nilifika kwanza mimi sikuwa najua wa Meru wana exist. So when I went to study in Meru, niko like, kai, nyinyi watu mko for real. So they're not just in storybooks and in history or social studies. And there was different cultures, but one thing I can say as a conclude is that they're all beautiful in their own ways. When I got friends from different communities, and instead of stereotyping myself and saying mine is the best, I'll just keep my own, I decided let me learn about their cultures, let me know 1, 2, 3 about what they do, how they live, what does their life look like, and embracing how other people live and appreciating their cultures got me to be able to live with them hivi. Hata sijui nianzie wapi. Maybe I can start niwapeleke nyuma tu kidogo why I started. I have had the privilege to be exposed, in that the fact that I have studied in different schools all through my primary life. I have gone to different counties, and now the peak of it was when I went to the Alliance Girls High School, and now I was studying with people from different parts of Kenya. Kufika huko as like these people think differently. Nilishanga, because you talk to a girl and they're just 14, but you listen to their dreams and you're like, Kwani, which world am I living in? What's so different about you and I? And I used to wonder what's so different about these girls, what makes them different, only to come and realize it's the mentorship that they got. It's because they had someone to hold their hand. Because every end of the term we had people who used to come and they would talk to us about careers, they'd talk to us about mental health, they talked to us about different things, and at first I didn't think it helps actually. We used to say, kwanza watu wa mental health wakikuja tukua tunasema kwani umeona mimi nimechizi, mbona wana ama when we are being called for a talk we are like, excuse, who told you I need your advice? But eventually nikakuja kuona the impact that those talks had on me, the impact that even having our own teachers encouraging us every day and giving us these opportunities. We used to be given opportunities for exchange programs. We'd interact with girls from different schools, even boys. Kwanza kwa boys, like for them they didn't stereotype mambo ya boys. We used to be forced to have socials. You had to talk to a guy. And when we asked for their reasoning, it was like when you familiarize with them and they become your friends, you stop idolizing the idea. You stop idolizing now the idea of boys. And they made that familiar with us. So when I went back home, and I'd interact with my peers, I'd notice there's something that has changed in me that has not changed in them. And that's why I decided, why don't I just bring this thing back home? Why don't I bring this exposure back home? Because not everyone will be able to go to these other places. But if you can bring it back, then it would be lovely. So mimi nikaanza na garbage collection. I said, if we come together and we plant trees and we do garbage collection, it's an excuse to bring high schoolers together. And when they come together, we can be able to talk, share our dreams, just enjoy life. And tutakuwa busy. You won't have time for being idle or time to do things that don't benefit us. So I gave the idea to my mom, and then she was excited. Thank God for her. She encouraged me, and we wrote a proposal to the sugar company, tukapewa hizo vitu za garbage collection, like everything. It's how everyone was supportive. I can thank God for that. And also I also prayed about it, because like, hey, nikianza hapa lazima work. It has to create impact. It has to really create impact in the community. And we just did talks in high schools, or even one-on-one talks with girls in the community. But eventually in September last year, my mom asked me, do you know anything about organizations, foundations, NGOs, CBOs? I was like, I've seen them. I think I know a little about them. And she asked me, why don't you just, instead of doing it Evo too, ni kama kutupa seeds, just throwing them elsewhere, why don't you just have an organization, and you can be able to do so much more than just talks. And I thought about it, and I was like, by the way, we can do this, you know, because if you see, our motto is empowering girls, elevating dreams, and that was actually my dream. So I said, why not? Why not? Why can't we have our own, a sort of a club for us, and for us to be able to grow each other. So that's how we started in September last year, and we started by writing a proposal to Charlene Ruto, who, God's grace, Ali reply, and she came and she launched our foundation. That gave us a little publicity, and now we've been doing a lot in the community. We have 4 thematic pillars, which is education, where we encourage that girls should be educated, and we encourage, through education also, we encourage mentorship for girls, because it's very, very important. Education goes hand in hand with mentorship. And we also do sexual reproductive health and rights. We create awareness on sexual reproductive health and rights, and offer the avenues for girls to be able to learn more about their reproductive health. And we also have economic empowerment. That's where the beadwork comes in, skills, encouraging them to do those skills, and very many upcoming projects on economic empowerment. If you want, you can join us and support us and come on board, volunteer, whatever it is you can offer, it will be appreciated. And lastly, we have environmental conservation. We believe that even if we are empowered and we have everything, but our environment is not good, then we are not able to live. So it's not about the grand events when there's National Tree Planting Day, so we all go and plant 100 trees. It's about our daily practices. How do you dispose garbage? You should separate zile zenye ni organic, kando, they can be manure, improves the soil. And those that are inorganic, if you don't have avenues of how to throw it, bury it. Kama una any other option, just bury it. Kwa sababu ushago, hakuna hizo trucks za kokota takataka. So we encourage that you bury it. We encourage that we plant trees on a daily basis, si ile ya kungojea the grand events. Just even by decorating your home, because trees have a lot of benefits. And lastly is take that action to yourself, such that ukitembea siwe ndo unarusha karatasi ya switi kwa njia, siwe ndo unarusha nini na wapi. You're just being careful about how you live every day, because to improve our environment, it has to take daily activities, and it calls upon everyone, not one person. We have a lot that we've done. So first of all, we go to schools, high schools, to talk to people. I believe words are very, very powerful. And when you take your time to talk to someone, they even feel special. So we've gone to many schools to talk to girls. We have planted trees. In every school we go, we plant. Kama kuna space kubwa, 500 trees, 100 to 500 at least, that bracket. So we've planted 4,000 trees in total for the schools that we've gone to. We've started a project on beekeeping. And a project that is coming up is this one for beadwork. So in our community, girls love doing beadwork. I've also seen guys who do it. Those si wengi. So they love doing beadwork, and we thought, yes, we want to prevent early pregnancies and early marriages, but there are those who've already gotten to that line. There are those who have 3 kids, and education is not the solution for them. So we thought, what is this that they have that can be able to empower them? And we saw that it's the beadwork. So we are now starting a new project to encourage the girls who have dropped out of school and can't go back, to show them that there is still a way. It's never the end of life. It's never that serious also. So they do these things. Normally I buy from them hizi bracelets, although bado the project haijashika bado vizuri, because there's a bigger vision that we want to have with them. We work with women because we know that they are the doors to the girls. If we really need to work with girls, then we'll have to also work with women. So for them, we do economic empowerment.
Akiana chama.
Mimi ndio mama mkongwe na niko kwa chama.
Naongara ini.
Chama ya watoto wangu.
Nikimbonga chama sidai.
Tumeshika chama vizuri.
Nikimbonga ba tanakite.
Tumeshika bado ikiwa ndogo.
Bada ni saida kiyo na kuna gara ikiwa ngaki.
Hadi hawa watoto wakatuelimisha tukajua
na sense hii niko kwa ritadura
na tumekuwa tukifanya kazi na table banding.
Tikibega ngara ini ya na shole.
Na tunasema asante sana kwa asante sana kwa nimesema asante.
Wakono shaga chama.
Asante ndio Resiato na wa chama.
We do beekeeping, which actually also benefits the environment.
Migiyo la bese aye olotoro
hatukuwa tunajua kazi na nyuki.
Migiyo lo sisi aye maendeleo
hatukuwa tunajua maendeleo yoyote.
Kage nikitayolo ito na tata
lakini tumejua.
Kitayolo ito pia mukora kebe esi aye olotoro kiata.
Tumejua kwa sababu tukiwa na kazi ya nyuki
nito rage poki ngairisha tata ngangenye nelotua na siai.
Kila mtu anaachana na kazi zake anakuja kwa hiyo kazi.
Nikibona kaishughulikia mwesi aye ngana bareto yo.
Tunakuja kushughulika kwa sababu ni kazi yetu ambayo imetusaidia.
Na ito kaisho enakera yang na Resiato.
Na namshukuru msichana wetu Resiato.
Amuni nyana iwa yakijoke ntoki sidai oleng amu sidai enkisoma.
Maana yeye ndiye ametuletea kitu kizuri kwa sababu elimu ni kitu ya maana.
Sidai oleng amu kora batene tukisoma na sininye.
Maana kama atungemsomesha
anata na mikiata siyoke na sia.
Atungekuwa na hii kazi.
All I did was just make sure we have training. But this the women are the ones taking care of it. Mimi niko shule. But when I go, it's good, it's running, they support, they hold you, because we are one community, and one thing we are known of as the Maasai community is the love that we share. It's the love that we share together. Yeah, so I can say I'm very grateful. They have taken the dream like it's their own. So far, we have done sensitization. We are starting from the grassroots, which is the mothers. So we have joined, mimi nimejoin chama ya wamama. And when I'm with them, we talk about these things. And I try to understand from their lens, why is it so important? Like, why do you guys really want this thing to happen? And when they were talking to me, I got to understand it's that, so kitambo, if GM was, it wasn't a bad thing. It was actually a very good thing because it brought people together. And when a girl is getting circumcised, on a mabaka naletewa ngombe, nini, and then it was also a rite of passage to now take you to the next level. There was now the place where now when you go through the cut, you can now get married. You can now, so before that, even girls would keep themselves. So they say now that it is gone, they feel like our girls are becoming loose. Like hakuna hiyo kitu inawazuia kungoja hiyo marriage or something. So that's why they keep on holding on to it, because they are like, we are losing our morals. But now trying to just shift that mindset. And after interact now nimeona ina work, just trying to show them that there are other ways. You can replace that cut with something else that we can do as girls to make sure that we are also keeping ourselves together so that we don't also get early pregnancies or out of the wedlock, you know. So working with them and seeing their mindsets shift.
Nagwajoki na nunto mono kana ilevo.
Naambia wamama wa chama na ilevo.
Mata asagendo kisidai nikisomi ntoye amukore be kisomi ntoye.
Tufanye kazi nzuri na tusomesha wasichana kwa sababu tukisomesha wasichana
amune ngoro yo kabisa.
Watatupigania.
Nikisuji line nile nya msuri
na tufuate nyayo sawa.
Amu dala jake tajoki ndo kisidai.
Maana ametuletea kitu kizuri.
And also working with girls. I think right now it's more of the mind shift.
Kushukuru the founder of MA. Wametusaidia sana kwa community. Tumekuwa hapa, tumeona the challenges the young girls, the young generation wanapitia na the maybe community yenyewe. So tunawahimiza wote tukuje tufanye kazi na MA girl. Tufanye kazi na MA girl na tuinue jamii, inaleta impact na itatusaidia.
Because no matter how many rescue centers I have, or there are enough rescue centers to take girls, there's all that, but if the mind is still backwards, then it means they'll find a way. Because you know it's done secretly. For those girls who still undergo the cut, it's done secretly. So inaenda inafanywa kwa mafichoni. Kumaanisha if this mind is still huko, bado tu kuna mtu. There's one girl who will still suffer the brunt of having a backward mindset. So right now we are trying to just shift the mindset, and we are also trying to work with organizations that also deal with the same, because we believe that if you want to go far, we work together. They have embraced the cause, although some may not be. Kuna watu tu wanasema labda tu wanaanza because they want to get money, wengine wanasema but I think that's iko kila mahali. It's everywhere. Such challenges you can encounter them anywhere. But my community, we live as a community, like it's like one big family. At the age of 19, I managed it so well because I have a lot of energy. Being young means you have a lot of energy, a lot of time. And when I'm in school, for example, tulifungwa shule a week ago. So I prioritize my classes also. So I attend my classes. Sasa kama unaona sai class ni 5:30 p.m. So I'm free this time. So when I'm free, I do the foundation. But I work with a team. Yeah, I know I cannot work alone. So I work with a team of both young men and women from different communities actually. Si wote ni wa Masai, because we have Gavin Lemayan, who is our executive director from Baringo County. Yeye ni Masai wa Baringo. We have our communications director anaitwa Daisy Rono. She's from Kericho. And we have our projects director anaitwa Maritime Faith. Anatoka pia Kericho. We have our resource mobilization director ni wa Kitale. And we also have a guy in charge of ICT, director in charge of ICT, called Emmanuel Takai. Na yeye ni wa Narok, isaidia juu ya Narok. So we've mixed it up. And I have friends of mine who help me. I have Stacy, who is working in the communications department. So if we go for events, she's always excited, posting, interacting with people on social media. And I have another bigger team. So the foundation is running because we are many of us doing it. Because sikuwa selfish, nikasema hii ni yangu, mnyi siwataki msonge mwende huko. No, we work together. My support system, it's my parents. I thank God for them. They are educated, and if I thank God for them, I also thank God for their parents who educated them, because they decided to try this new world that they didn't know of, and they have been the support system. And I can say they have protected me, because if my parents were backwards, if their minds were still in the cultures, the negative aspects of our cultures, then I'd also be the same. So it's them. They have protected us from things that, let me tell you, by that I've had suitors. Suitors have come kwetu to ask if they could marry me and all. But without the father's permission, you won't marry that girl. So it's my parents who have protected us from the negative aspects of the culture, but also having education, because most you can find even right now, we are not tuko nyuma sana, although bado tuko na a little bit loops mahali, but having the community that is educated, they get to now familiarize themselves with this new world, with these new times. So it has been evil. Although sometimes pia kuna hiyo stereotype that they say maybe if you stand up for yourself as a girl, they'll tell you mko na kiburi, wanajisikia nini, but si sana. The reason why to include men is because we realize that we have empowered girls very much from kitambo, but mbona bado kuna hizo, kuna mahali kuna tu bado there's something that's not happening, and we decided to bring men to the table. If we include them in these conversations, if we include them in these empowerment programs, then we can be sure that what we are doing will be implemented. So I do not understand the challenges that men go through. Honestly, if I'm taken to a boys' school to talk to boys, I'll talk about general things because I can't relate. So for me to be able to impact both the girls and the boys, we'll need to have the men on board, so that we can be able to understand each other. They get to know what we go through, and us we get to know from their lens what they go through. The biggest challenge that we face as an organization is approaching other organizations to support, and they turn it down. I think hiyo inanifishanga moyo, unajua hadi usiku naamka katika usiku I'm like, walikataa hiyo proposal. So I think the biggest challenge is not having that support. For example, we have a lot of projects that we are coming up with. For example, now hii project ya beadwork. So we want to start every beadwork with a story. So when someone does their beadwork, it has a story behind it. And we are starting that project. I think it's just the support from people, having people coming in to support and not putting down the dream. And another challenge is maybe when we talk to girls that are still not familiar, they feel like, you guys mmekuwa wengi. But I believe with time, everything will be okay. So the biggest challenge is just funding. But I believe doors will be opened, Abana. Like we can't, it's not like atitulianza to kimchezo mchezo. With time, we shall see the fruits and it shall be well. The highest moments that we have had as an organization was when we started first, the kind of support that we got and how girls were so excited. I remember when I was telling the girls, every time I talk to girls and they're excited about this and they're excited about this vision, they're excited about this new thing that we are bringing. Those are the highest moments. Every time we go to a school and we interact with students and they're excited and their faces brighten up, I love that. I love to see that. Our vision is a world in which girls are empowered and inspired to be advocates of a sustainable future. And when we talk about sustainability, it goes a broader way, be it on climate, where we are able to sustain our environment by ourselves, be it on economic development, we are able to be financially independent, be it on mentorship. You know, we have different mindsets where we are able to grow our community, and also in culture, that we are able to embrace our culture, but in a different and positive way. Because sisi tunataka lose culture yetu, you know, Maasai culture is beautiful. Only just a few aspects that need to be done away with, but if we hold on to the positive aspects, then it's our pride. So we look forward into that world where girls are able to just thrive, and they're not worried about FGM, they're not worried about, you know, it's no longer an issue, and it's no longer a hindrance to their dreams. So the Girl Foundation to the world, we want to work with girls everywhere, because interacting with people from other communities Pia made me realize that we isolate ourselves. The challenges we face don't have boundaries. It's like embracing that common identity beyond the boundaries that we have. And the challenges that a girl goes through in Narok are the same challenges that a girl goes through in Meru, in Samburu, wherever. So my call to action is to tell everyone that you can do something. Goodness, you don't wait for CG grand entrance or anything. That one girl that you know, that one boy that you know, encourage them, because it takes everyday steps. So I call everyone to come. It's not si kazi ya mtu mmoja mseme hiyo ni makazi ya NGOs or anything. No. It's everyone's work to hold each other, because one thing we are known of as Africans or Kenyans is the community that we have. It's the love that we have for each other. And if we lose that, then we've lost everything. We can't afford to pick every culture from the West, where, for example, the West live every man for himself, God for us all. Me, I don't advocate for that. It's not us. It's not us. Like, you can be in a house and your neighbor is screaming and you're minding your own business, like, you know, that's not us. I call for everyone to come together and also support. For example, if you're from Enosen or you're from the Maasai community and you know of the Girl Foundation, join us, volunteer with us, let's go. If you're Kamoko campus, you have free time and we are having activities, just come, because you never know, that little that you do will actually impact the community, and every one of us has something we can offer. There's something that we can give, and let's spread that hope.